Welcome back here on Stark Media as we are live inside of the Checkered Flag Building, the newly rebranded Checkered Flag Building that my guy over here, my partner JP Simon, has had his hand in and really bringing new business and new life to 256 Erie Street South. And as we know, Studio Vibes downstairs and headquarters HQ for not only Simon Says Promotions but Stark Media. And now we'll say introducing first,
Right.
fighting, right?
Yeah, perfect.
You've got Dustin Mohedano. Did I get it right?
Yep.
We were working
Got it.
on that a
I'll
little
tell you
bit
what,
ago, that
man,
last name.
hey, I feel like we could just end the show right now and just
Yeah.
call it quits.
That's
right?
a win. You gotta take
Dustin
'em.
Mohedano from Ground Zero MMA, who's had this part of the building, the third floor, be his new home headquarters. You see it right here behind us. Dustin, how long have you been here for now? And kind of tell everybody really what is it that you guys specialize in here?
We've been here for about 2 months now, going on 3. We were over on First Street across from Chloe's for 3 years, so we've been open for 3.5 years. We've been trying to open a gym for a lot longer. We had a empty building over by the Maslin Boys and Girls Club, and it was just too old. We tried to rehab it, and it was just too old, and it ended up partly collapsing, and then the city of Maslin had to bulldoze it. So we ended up finding that place to rent temporarily, and we've just been pretty much going like quick ever since, like nonstop. We do MMA obviously, but we also do just boxing. We do kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, judo, Muay Thai. We do a lot, and we're still adding more stuff too. So it's been a lot.
So one thing for us is really cool is, the premise behind what we've done here with Stark Media, JP and I have, some 17, 18 months ago was really to not just shine a light on certain sports around the area, which we know, football and basketball, very popular around the area that gets a lot of the coverage. But we have so many other great athletes in the area. Now, it's not just limited to high school athletes, but what you guys have been able to do. And really, as we come to you live here inside of the Checkered Flag Building, we want to give a special shout out to a couple of our partners here, Hilscher Clark Electric Company and the Eagles FOE 190 in downtown Maslin. So we had a chance, we were over there the other night, JP, and to understand the history of everything that's going on around in the area, we started to dive into wrestling and into lacrosse, which is taking off around here. And really to see the depth of the athletes that we have around here. I mean, fighting, we'll call it the blue corner back here. You guys have just recently had some people competing for championships in MMA, right?
Yep, we had a guy named Kyle Crum, and he was actually a pretty big football player out of Minerva. I believe he went to Kent State as well. So obviously very athletic guy.
Yeah.
Like 6'3", 6'4", shredded. I mean, the dude's huge. He ended up fighting a former teammate, Nick Nash, which is he fights out of Kyle's former gym, Victory, out in Canton. And it didn't go our way. He ended up getting taken down. Him and Nick, they trained together a lot, so it was a really weird fight to take. But it was for a title, so it was worth it. And it just didn't go our way. But you either win or you learn. And Kyle learned a lesson that day, and he's going to be better for it. We got, I've seen some crazy athletes, like even guys who have never played sports in their entire life, and I see some of the stuff they do, and I'm like, man, like you could have easily picked up football and been a star, just
right, with that body control and the explosiveness, and it's what we played, JP, was a violent game.
Absolutely.
So violent actions, violent reactions to things coming at you, whether you're on the defensive side like you are and the offensive side. We want to let everybody know, too, that speaking of offensive defense, JP and I, we got something coming up here this Saturday. Stop down, Maslin Indoor Facility, 9 o'clock. If you've got a youngster from 3rd to 8th grade that's playing offensive, defensive line, not really sure like where to send them to get some training, or just if you're not sure if you want them to even lift weights yet, because we just know that maybe it's not the right time. I didn't start until I was about 8th, 9th grade, but you want to get some training in regards to the youth football that you guys have coming up here this fall. Bring them over to us. Get on our Facebook page, Stark Media Team, at Stark Media Team on Twitter, Instagram. You'll be able to find all the information you need, email addresses, phone numbers, whatnot, to get in touch with us. All you got to do is sign up, come out, and your kids will be able to learn something. It's really about confidence. It's about the knowledge of the game. It's about the techniques, right? And that's stuff that you are constantly teaching right now as you guys are involved with football going on here, gearing up towards training camp. But, I think when we saw the success last year that wrestling had around here, and you've had a handful of guys that have wrestled that are on your defense. One most notably now to me is Cody Fair. Knowing that they have that confidence to be able to line up mano a mano with one dude out there, right? Handle your business. Go for those tough 2-minute periods to exhaustion. I hear Jamie Fallsnight talk about it a lot, that it's a different type of conditioning.
Absolutely.
The guys that you've had that have that confidence and have that technique, the wrestling guys, have you seen a difference from them as a football player out on the field?
Sure. I mean, first and foremost, to be a wrestler, you got to be tough. And to play in the trenches, you got to be tough. So for me, I always encourage our big guys, get out there and wrestle. Not only be able to move somebody else, moving somebody else that's the same size as you. It is a one-on-one type deal. There's nobody else to blame in wrestling when you lose. You either won that or you lost that. The guys that we see that come from our wrestling program, always the more in shape guys. Them wrestlers, they grind in the winter. And, we did some of the episodes in the room with the wrestling programs around the county, and them guys get after it.
I wasn't built for that.
Yeah, no, that wasn't my cup of tea. They get after it, and it's not an easy sport, you know what I mean? And sometimes playing in the trenches isn't an easy position to be in, right? Like
it's not for everybody.
It's not for everybody. Cody Fair came in, leaned him out, looks good, running really well. So, wrestling really had him in shape to come prepare for football.
So he's ready for the next big offer, right? Because Dorian Pringle just got locked up by Bowling Green.
Man, he got to be next. They're racing for him
man.
now, right? Man, yeah.
Now, speaking of, as we're sitting here with Dustin, owner of Ground Zero MMA, come down here, 256 Erie Street South. Let everybody know real quick where the number, email address, whatever website that they can go to be able to sign up and take classes with you guys.
Yep. So we have our website, real easy. It's just groundzeromma.com. Phone number is 330-639-3449. It's actually my phone number, so you're going to talk to me if you call it, text it. It's just easier that way.
That's a good business model, man.
Yeah.
You get to talk to the guy at the top.
Yep.
Yeah, it all comes to me, so there's no confusion. I mean, we've had it before where it's gone to like a business phone number, and it's sometimes it just gets lost and bouncing between a couple of different people. But it's easier that way if I can just control it all. And I'm the one that's here pretty much every single day, so it's smoother that way.
Give us the number one more time again.
Yeah, it's 330-639-3449.
Dustin Mohedano.
Yep.
Man, still got it. Even I think we're 10 minutes in. I thought Mohedano could kind of go out the back door after 10 minutes.
Go have that down.
All those concussions that day, all those shots to linebackers.
Man. Yeah.
Okay, so the word I just mentioned to him that seems to, I would think, when you talk about people calling you up saying, hey, I want to come down here, I want to train with you, I want to take some lessons, is a big percentage of the people you see come to your front doorstep because they want to build just some type of confidence in themselves?
Yeah, that's a big one. We usually have a couple different. So I do a lot of private lessons too. That's a really big thing we do here. Not a lot of MMA gyms will offer private lessons. I get a lot done in an hour with somebody. When it's not in a class setting, it's just you and one other person or you and two other people. Get a lot done. And a lot of the stuff that people tell me they have self-esteem issues, or they don't know how to handle themselves if something pops off self-defense wise and stuff like that. Those are the big reasons why people come in. Otherwise, like getting in shape, a lot of guys want to compete, and we kind of do a lot of different stuff. I'm very open to, like, somebody can come in and be like, hey, I want to work this today. And it's like, I've done boxing with them for a year. Now they want to start wrestling. It's like, hey, I'll do some wrestling. Like, you want to do jiu-jitsu? I'll do jiu-jitsu. Like, we even do, like, strength training and stuff like that. So it's just.
So you got the setup over there, man.
Yeah.
I saw the rack, man. I was ready to toss a couple weights on. Started getting nervous. Like 2 days around the corner, I'm over here sweating. Like, I'm not ready yet. My legs ain't ready yet.
Yeah,
you see these legs, man. They're not ready yet.
Yeah, that's the side of it that I've been really diving deep into is the strength and conditioning side of it. And like me and JP talked about it. Like I'm down to learn from him, because I'm 28 years old. Like, it's crazy that to me that I'm even in this position. But I'm not stopping, so I'm just gonna keep on learning and just never stop. We got a jiu-jitsu coach, Brian Walsh. He's had some health troubles, but he's healthy for his age, and the dude has been doing jiu-jitsu since before anybody really knew what it was, so like, he's been doing it since the 80s, and that dude's still learning. So it's like it never stops, and you have to always have that open mind. And I think that's where some people mess up, is they just get comfortable with the knowledge, and then they just get comfortable with the way things are. And it's like, I'm never going to be comfortable. I want to grow. Even though we went from 1,200 square feet to 5,000 square feet, like, that's not enough, you know. I want more and more and more.
I like it, man. Listen, we're going to come back and touch on just one quick subject you just talked about with the different styles, right?
Yep.
But real quick, we want to remind everybody that JP, coming up on, is it June 24th here this weekend? You got the Stark Market pop-up shop?
Pop-up down at 59 Lincoln Way East. Yep, going to have our vendor out there, Brits, Bows, Stark Market, all their vendors be going on all day, 10 to 3. Or I'm sorry, we're starting early that morning. We'll be there by 9. All day, got some new vendors in, some new prints out for the store. So stop by this Saturday, check us out.
Listen, it just makes sense. Drop your offense or defensive lineman off at the Massillon Indoor Facility. Shoot down to 59 Lincoln Way East.
We'll be
hit
making
the
that
pop-up
trip.
shop. Give you about 2 hours.
Yep.
Come back up, get your kid. He's going to be like Jonathan Ogden, just running people over. He's going to be a whole different monster. A whole different monster. All right, make sure you're checking us out on social media at Start Media Team, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Subscribe. And click subscribe always on our Stark Media YouTube channel. That's where you're catching us here today, and more stuff as we continue to roll out content leading you up to, hey, the greatest weekend in high school football. That's going to be August 18th, Valdosta and Massillon. We're going to get the season kicked off. If you check out our different social media sites, we'll have our schedule that we're releasing on Friday. We're going to have your different lineups that you're going to be able to see, the games that you're going to be able to catch, whether it's live, radio, or stream. Check that out on our social media accounts. Remember to hit all of our sponsors and patronize them, please. McNeil & Sons Tree Service, 606-1126. That's how you get in touch with them, 330-606-1126. C.H. Vallis & Associates. If you're for all your home, auto, life, financial service needs, contact them at 494-2776. They're right there in North Canton. Make sure you call my guy at Lindsay's Pizza, John Lindsay, 477-3800. Preferred post-game pizza of the Stark Media Team. Check them out over in Hillsdale Shopping Center. Also, my guys up at H&H Truck Parts, give them a special shout-out as well. Hilsher Clark Electric Company and the Eagles FOE 190 in downtown Massillon. All right, I got a couple funny stories for you, JP, and you have to tell me because we were kind of in college at the same time. You know, we built our personas up with the weight room and the football stuff and the big D1 university that – you know, we were big, tough, bad guys. You know, you almost said you would have never been able to start at Cincinnati, or I wouldn't have been able to start at Ohio State if you didn't think you were a bad dude.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right? So that part of the confidence was there. The attitude was there. So we would always go out, and that was really kind of when Dana White had kind of taken the UFC back over, and it was starting to blow up at the turn of the century again, right? And everybody's getting into it. I know that you were in the bar business a long time. All the people that would come out for the fights, right? Did you have a lot of dudes like you know, offensive linemen, defensive linemen, linebackers, like, oh, you know, you're watching the UFC event, like, man, I could get in there and take that dude.
Absolutely. We actually had a guy, Adam Hoppel, was an all-everything wrestler, is a big D tackle for us, all-conference player, but he really knew what he was doing a little bit, and you know, he had a couple guys call him out, but it was only a couple guys, and that all got ended quick. You know, he knew what he was doing. And
folded him up.
It didn't take him too long to do it either, so. Yeah, absolutely. You get humbled early when somebody knows what they're doing.
Let me tell you about one of the most humbling experiences of my life. So I was at this party. It was for, I think it was for like the Preakness or something. It was one of the horse races.
Right.
And I was at this party, and I meet this tiny Russian dude that's there, Dimitrov. And I'm sitting there, I'm having a good time. I'm eating, drinking Hennessy because it's what they do for the horse races. And
yeah.
So this guy, you know, he finds out that I'm a lineman down at Ohio State, and he's like, yeah, he's coming over, talking to me, engaging me. You know, we're having some fun. You know, she's, hey, what's up? Tell me your background. He goes, a BJJ. I said, okay, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah. You want to learn? Yeah. He's telling me this stuff. He gets me out there. He goes, throw your hands at me. You know, and I would do things to this guy that I would do to a normal defensive lineman and dominate him.
Right.
I would throw a shot at this guy, and within – like 2 seconds, he had me folded up, and he was maybe a third of my size. And I remember we would do training stuff down at Ohio State with Navy SEAL guys and different karate, martial arts athletes. It's like, I want to know that. Like, what did you just do right there to be able to neutralize that person within 2 to 3 seconds? That's the real bad guy in the room right there,
absolutely.
man. You got to watch out for that guy, right?
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about it.
So when you look at those different styles, Dustin, and again, Combat Sports Division of Stark Media, as we've kind of launched the wrestling stuff, and we'll get more into boxing and MMA right here with you guys. We've got some boxing things that'll be coming up in the Akron area. We're going to keep you guys plugged in on that as well. But as we look at the MMA kind of style, encompasses a lot of different things. In your guesstimation, or just, I guess, your philosophies, what skill set is most desirable going into a combat situation?
Wrestling, 100% wrestling. It's kind of dominated. When like the UFC first came around in 1995, jiu-jitsu won it all. It was 170-pound Hoist Gracie. That's kind of when jiu-jitsu popped off.
Grabbing on a tank.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
right.
So it's
yoking down.
It was that was to showcase what jiu-jitsu could do. Like just because you're the smaller guy doesn't mean, you're helpless. Like he was strangling dudes twice his size. But man, it's been all wrestling for the last like probably 15 years. I mean, it's crazy. It's I always say wrestling, like someone with like a year of really good wrestling and a year of really good boxing, really hard to beat that guy.
Yeah.
Because he knows what he's doing on the feet. Even if he's not doing kicks changes a lot. But if he knows what he's doing with his hands, and then he can like control where it goes to the ground, it's hard to stop that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's a nightmare. My first fight was against a guy who was a college wrestler, and he trained at Strong Style up in Cleveland, and I did not do one bit of wrestling leading up to that fight, and I got held down all 3 rounds. It was one of the worst days of my life. I mean, I'd never felt so helpless in my life, so I hammered a lot of wrestling after that.
Yeah,
and
right.
it's changed my perspective on it all, and it's dominant. So wrestling for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure you can kind of attest that too, JP. It was the same for me. Like, you almost when you first made the jump to collegiate football, it was like you felt like you were stuck in quicksand.
Right,
because
right,
everybody
right.
was just faster than you.
Yep.
Their hands were better than yours, and their legs were stronger. And it's like they would get on to you, and it's like there's really nothing I can do. I
Right.
remember trying to block guys like Will Smith, God rest his soul, one of the greatest defensive ends in NFL history. Darian Scott, Tim Anderson, Kenny Pete from over there at McKinley. It was like, I can't even stand in front of these dudes for like 2 or 3 seconds.
Right,
so
right, right.
You're going to be reserved for scout team this year.
Right,
You're
right.
going to get that red shirt.
We got a spot for you.
We have a spot for you because until you can hang with that dude, I mean, in a one-on-one pass rush type setting or a one-on-one setting for more than 5 or 6 seconds, that's going to spell bad news for the
Absolutely,
quarterback,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
But I'm sure you felt that way, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, what were some things that, when you were training that you were like, I got to step my game up in this area?
It was kind of what Dustin, what I'm sure he'll allude to too, is the technique of it. You get away with a little bit in high school when you're the bigger, stronger, better athlete. You grab a guy, you throw him on the ground, you make a highlight film out of it. You get up to that next level, somebody with some technique, it ain't gonna shake out like that.
Yeah.
He lifts weights, he runs his sprints, and he's a big, strong guy with some technique. And that's where your story of a smaller guy being able to take on a bigger guy kind of comes from
Old
that.
David and Goliath.
Yeah, that's it, man. He had the slingshot ready.
Oh, man. So, hey, listen, we're having a good time here at Ground Zero MMA inside of the Checkered Flag building. My man down here, JP Simon, my partner, rebranded this building within the last year and has all different types of businesses going on inside of here. This is Stark Media's headquarters. Simon Says Promotions headquarters here as well. But if you're looking to get that fresh cut, that fresh fade, you got to go down to Studio Vibes.
Check them out.
Allie and the girls down there, man, it's crazy. You're going to thank us for coming over here, right? It's not that traditional bowl cut.
No, you ain't going to get that.
You're going to be looking crispy when you walk out of here.
Right.
But then if you go out there and you're looking too good, you're looking too fly, you got some haters, man. They're going to try and whoop your ass. So you got to come over here and see our guy, Dustin Mohedano, man, here at Ground Zero MMA. So kind of wrapping this thing up here, I guess, like, when you look at Northeast Ohio and the MMA scene, right? You and I were talking before we got on. You talked about Crum fighting up at the Chaparral. I've been up there before, right up there off Killian Road, up by Firestone. They've had some great events up there. Yep. I remember back in the day they were having events over there at the Barley House, and cool scenes, too. You almost feel like it's like Roadhouse or something, right?
Yeah, right.
Inside the bar, everybody's having a good time. But, I mean, what has it done for Northeast Ohio to have guys like Cody Garbrandt and Stipe? I mean, Stipe, I believe, is defended the heavyweight strap more than anybody in the history of the game.
Yep.
It's been huge for this area, right?
Yeah, it's MMA. I mean, wrestling is huge in this area. So the natural transition after high school or college wrestling, would be MMA, because it's filled with wrestlers, and that mentality it goes perfect with MMA. And yeah, Ohio has produced some great fighters. I mean, there's so many good gyms around here. One of the big things, like when we started and we were planning on opening a gym, was there was nothing in Massillon. The place I started at, which was right next door, used to be Crafts Kempo. They had a MMA fight team, and that's who I fought out of for my first fight. But by the time I was old enough to fight, they basically didn't have a fight team anymore, and it sucked. So I wanted to bring something to Massillon and, try to make it like a very solid, structured place in this area, because Canton's got a few places, Cleveland's filled with places. I mean, there's Gracie schools up there left and right, which is kind of how it goes with big cities. But
Canton, shout out to my boy K.O. Butler.
yeah.
What's up, K.O.?
So it's there's a lot around here. I mean, Cage Thunder, they've been holding events at the Chaparral Center for a couple years now, and I believe this next one in August 12th is Cage Thunder 22, and I mean, we got 4 guys fighting on that. And,
nice.
I mean, like Victory will have like 10 guys fight. Like there's a lot of fighters in this area.
When is the date on that?
August 12th.
August 12th, man. We're going to Start Media's going to make an appearance, man.
Yeah.
We're going to be in the house.
We got a busy schedule the next couple months. We got kickboxing. We got caged grappling matches out in Mansfield. Nice. And then we got the MMA show, and then they're doing another one at the Chaparrals. Cage Thunder is in September. So then the big one is they're coming to the Canton Civic Center in December. So everybody locally is wanting to fight on that.
Big
card.
lights going to be out, man.
Big
lights are coming out.
Yeah, I fought at the Civic Center for my second fight, which was, I don't know, like 2015 or this is a long time ago. It was the coolest venue I've ever fought at. It was so sweet to walk out on the platform and head out to the cage, and all the lights and the crowd. It was nuts. MMA is, I mean, it just naturally grows. You see the UFC on ESPN now, so it's like it's becoming more of a mainstream sport. Still a little too hardcore for a lot of people, but it's getting there. And I like to look at it more of a sport rather than fighting. That's kind of how I've always approached it. I've never really been angry and aggressive. Like a lot of people come in here and they want to get some of their anger out, and I'm more of I want to compete, I want to look at how am I going to beat this guy strategically, instead of just overpowering him or whatever. Right. So it's, but man, MMA is booming right now.
That's awesome, man. You came out in the Civic Center like you were over there in Pride fighting, man. You were Mirko Krokop coming out in the Grand Prix with the fireworks going off and the lights.
The only thing that would have been better, I tried to get him to come to Massillon. I tried so hard to get him to come to Massillon. I was like, man, a fight in Massillon would sell so. Imagine, this is my perfect scenario: is setting a cage up in Paul Brown Tiger Stadium.
I think
Stark Media get that done.
That dude could probably make it happen.
Man,
Stark Media, man. We're gonna start talking to our behind the scenes sources.
Hey, we here soon. I mean, we've been getting a lot of really good young fighters coming in.
Nice.
I mean, we could stack the card with our guys. We got enough fighters now who are good enough that we could fill a card in Massillon. It would be sweet.
Live from Paul Brown.
Yeah.
See what Bubba and Vince McMahon, we link them up, see what we get done out here.
Oh, man, Sal going to love that, man.
Yeah, right,
Sal going to take that meeting with Vince.
Who going to insure this one?
Good stuff, man. Well, hey, listen, Dustin, I appreciate you checking in with us, man. We're going to be back here. We're right underneath you here, man. We're gonna continue to follow along with the journey. JP, man, any last thoughts?
Just real quick, Dustin, I know you guys got the girls kickboxing classes too. We didn't touch on that. I know that's been a growing thing here, right?
We've had it Wednesday nights, 7:30 p.m. We've had it going for 2 years now. Rachel, who actually I trained with when we were teenagers at the place across the street, and she's been running those classes for a long time. So she's really good. She's got a really good system. I mean, she's had the solid group of girls coming into her class. We're looking to start another class, whether it's different time on the same day or different day. Either way, that class has been great for us, so we're looking to add more. We're starting to do some strength and conditioning seminars every once in a while, just small group stuff, a little bit more detailed. We're adding a bunch of stuff. It's kind of chaos right now. Schedule's going to be shifting, but yeah, I mean, women's kickboxing, that's huge. And anybody who's owned a gym or been in an MMA gym, they know, like, the kids in the women's classes are what actually pays the bills.
Yeah.
Because MMA fighters are broke.
Right.
So, yeah, we have to get those classes rolling. Otherwise, we wouldn't have a place like this.
Hey, man, win a couple fights. We're going to get a couple NIL deals coming through
Yeah,
here.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
All right, groundzeromma.com. Give us the number one more time.
Yep, 330-639-3449.
Check out our guy, Dustin Mohedano, right here at Ground Zero MMA, right here at 256 Erie Street South. My man over here, JP, rebranding the Checkered Flag Building. We'll be here. Come stop down and see us. Can't wait to see you, right? Is that how it goes?
That's how it goes.
All right, man. For JP, for Dustin, I'm TJ. Joining us here on our Stark Media Team YouTube channel. We appreciate you. Like, subscribe, share, follow. Do it all. Help us grow this thing and help us grow the sport of MMA. Stark Media Combat Sports. It's a real thing. It's coming at you. Here with our guy Dustin and my partner JP over here. We'll be back with more after this.
Power outages can happen at any time, without warning, and can leave your home powerless for days. Hilscher Clark has partnered with Generac to bring you the #1 selling home standby generator brand, engineered and built in the USA since 1959. With a home standby generator, your home will never lose power again. Generac generators activate automatically in the event of any power loss and restore power to your home within seconds. Don't leave your home unprotected. Trust only the best. Hilscher Clark's residential division are experts in their profession and go above and beyond to provide you with quality, efficient service at a fair price. Starting with the estimate, they keep you informed regarding status and completion of your projects. They also give you shorter arrival windows and send you email and text confirmations of your scheduled service appointment, as well as notifications when their electricians are on their way to your home. Hilscher Clark's Google reviews speak for themselves, with more than 270 reviews and 4.9 stars. And if you've just recently purchased an electric vehicle but don't want to rely on public chargers to keep your battery full, Hilscher Clark has all the juice you can handle for your home vehicle charging needs. Hilscher Clark is a certified Q Merit Solutions partner, making them market leaders in electrification and recommended by local dealerships. Visit them online at www.hilscher-clark.com. That's HILSCHER-CLARKE.com. Or stop down and see them at 519 4th Street Northwest in downtown Canton. Or contact Hilscher Clark today at 330-452-9806. That's 330-452-9806. Remember, it's your home, it's our family. Trust only the best. Hilscher Clark Electric Company. The Fraternal Order of Eagles number 190 in Massillon wants you. Stop down to the Massillon ARE at 303 Wyrick Boulevard Northwest. And like our over 1,800 members experience daily, your Eagles membership will give you access to great food and drink specials. Having a party? Host it in our banquet facility and seat up to 400 people. When you're coming through downtown Massillon, stop by the Eagles and sign up. And for a small fee, you'll have access and be a part of a fraternity that donates over $100,000 a year to local charities. The Fraternal Order of Eagles ARE number 190 in downtown Massillon. Stop by or call us today at 330-832-7385.
Chris McCready's and his team at Finally Hear Hearing Aid Center in Canton offer up over 30 years of experience for their customers who are hearing impaired. Head over to their website at finallyhearohio.com and schedule your free hearing aid test and evaluation today. They're a best of the best award-winning company that prides themselves on customer service. Stop down and see them at 1201 30th Street Northwest or contact them at 492-1212 for an appointment. And thank you for sponsoring Stark Media's finallyhearohio.com Player of the Game.
You came to Stark Media for the best? Well, now you got it. Check out Lindsay's Pizza on 2827 Whipple Avenue Northwest inside of the Hillsdale Shopping Center. The preferred post-game pizza of the Stark Media team is open until 11 p.m. and it has all the essentials for game day. Pizza, chicken, salads, and sandwiches are just a click away at lindsayspizza.com. But you should trust the former Ohio State All-American and just call them right now at 330-477-3800. 477-3800. This is TJ Downing for Lindsay's Pizza, and I approve this message.
McNeil & Sons Tree Service serves the greater Northeast Ohio area by keeping your property clear all year round. Do you have trees that have stretched too close to your home? A rotted tree that has to go? Or perhaps even storm damage? No job is too big or small for McNeil & Sons. We specialize in large tree removal, storm damage, stump grinding, land clearing, and more. McNeil & Sons Tree Service is fully licensed and insured, so contact us today at 330-606-1126 for all your tree care needs. Or visit us online at mcneiltree.com to schedule your free quote. The professionals at McNeil & Sons can inform you of your tree health and give you a risk assessment to keep your family protected. So call today, 330-606-1126. McNeil & Sons Tree Service, a company you can depend on with family you can trust.
The leader in quality drivetrain components, H&H Truck Parts, is a name you can trust. Located in Valley View, Ohio at 5500 South Cloverleaf Parkway, H&H can handle all your heavy-duty truck needs. Come in and exchange your transmission, differential, or power steering gearbox. But that's not all. H&H is equipped to handle all your parts needs. Permco pumps, Muncie PTOs, Neapco U-joints, Spicer yokes, new Eaton clutches, and more. Let the professionals at H&H Truck Parts handle your transmission or differential installation in one of their 6 service bays. Specializing in drivetrain repairs, stop by and have your drive shaft balanced, flywheel resurfaced, or your clutch installed alongside the best transmissions and differentials on the road. You know why they're the best? Because H&H is Ohio's largest purchaser of Eaton Fuller parts. Need a blower or a pump? H&H distributes Paragon and Permco brands. Names you can trust with your livelihood on the road. Call H&H Truck Parts today for the leader in heavy-duty truck parts and service. Call locally at 216-642-4540. Toll free at 800-601-4540 or check them out online at hhtruckparts.com.